Welcome to Your Life Story, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on the personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique. And I expect that it's something that you would like to be able to, be better in your life, and you deserve the care and guidance that's right for you. So let's get started today. Thank you so much for coming today. I'm so happy that I get to share another beautiful subject with all of you. And I believe it's something that we all have come to want, and that is wanting more doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you alive. So I'm grateful you're here. Today we're breaking down one of the sneakiest lies we were told, especially as women, that wanting more means you're ungrateful. If you've ever felt guilty for wanting more from your life, your relationships, your career, this episode is for you. By the end of this, you'll have practical questions, exercises, and truths you can carry with you to break free from the guilt and claim your bigger life. Well, welcome. I am happy that you guys have decided to come and listen to me and the solutions I bring to you, because I believe it's important that we all get a chance to be able to better ourselves. And that's why I do this for all of you and for me. Where did this light come from? All my life I've had it where people were always like, you should just be grateful where you're at, what you have. Every time I asked for more. And I don't believe that what I was asking for was out of reach. It wasn't something that was astronomical either. It was just something just to better my life, because I believe wholeheartedly that humans should be allowed to grow. Just the simple fact that my ex had told me, guess what? I believe you don't deserve any better. You know what? I think you deserve to live in the worst part of town, in an apartment or in a motor home, and not have a job and struggle. All because I didn't fall for his manipulation tactics or his lousy stories that he was bringing up, or worse, when you're at work and they believe that you shouldn't have any more. Why? Because of your ethnicity or the sex that you are, or gender. You name it. It's terrible, even for single moms. They're like, you shouldn't want more. You should just be content where you're at. The crumbs that we throw at you. Many times we've wanted that promotion. We wanted that healthier relationship. We wanted just more freedom. And I don't think that is anything out of the ordinary. It doesn't mean you have to be some type of class of human being where only you can have it. I believe everybody has that opportunity. Why? Because we're humans. Many times of us, we were raised to believe that we should be thankful for what we get, even if it's just crumbs. I think that's the hardest thing. Being told, oh, that's just how men are, so just be happy with what you get. And in my heart, I said, really? Is this really what life is about? The crumbs that they give you? I didn't want that. And even religion, family, culture, society, many systems benefit when women stay quiet and grateful for less. I believe I've been hearing that a lot recently, where women were told that we should just be grateful, we should just stay quiet for the things that happen to us, and just be grateful for what we have, because the manipulators are the ones that are benefiting off of us, and how dare we want to take that away from them? I don't think so. So let's think about it. Who taught you to feel guilty for wanting more? I was taught to feel guilty by everyone. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one. It is everyone. I don't think in my life did I ever hear anybody say, no, you deserve to shoot for the stars. You can do anything. It was always, I think it's because of the people that I was surrounded with. They always looked at me like, how ungrateful you are. And like I said, it wasn't even that much that I was asking for. It's just something that as human beings, we have a growth mindset. So we're trying to learn how to live better. And I think that was terrible. You know, what did they gain by keeping you small? I believe that they gained a lot, because then they took your portions and theirs and ran off with it. And I think that the moment that you decided to say, I want something, then they knew that they weren't going to get that part that they were taking away from you. And I just don't have time for that in my life anymore. It's something that I'm like, no, if you are not going to give that to me, I'm going to find it. And if you don't like me, well, bye-bye. A new chapter. So let's see how this lie holds us back. Consequences. When we believe wanting more makes us ungrateful, we sabotage ourselves. Why? Because now we are keeping ourselves small. But then the thing is, we get into depression, anxiety, and whatnot, and then we just sabotage ourselves. We settle for relationships that drain us, jobs that don't fulfill us, friendships that don't nourish us. You know, just relationships is bad. I mean, I can't believe how many years I wasted, how much it drained me. I was always exhausted, and I didn't think anything of it because I thought it was just, work. I was exhausted being adulting, right? And then jobs that don't fulfill us, and I get it. We're in a time where everything is so expensive. We can't find jobs. And why? Algorithms, bots, and everything like that are telling us, are the ones that have been put in place. So then that way we can't even speak to even a hiring manager or recruiter or anybody to let them know, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I have the skills. Yes, I want to be with your company. No, from what I see is they're always just reposting jobs a million times, having the normal employees probably so tired because there's nothing for them to help them. And why would they? I mean, they're saving money, but at the same time, human beings need to work. And then how dare, the individuals end up becoming homeless, or what people think, mooching off of family members and stuff like that. But guess what? They're trying their hardest and they can't even find it. So how dare you, examples that I've gone through is staying in a job because it's safe. I get it. We all need medical insurance. We all need a 401k, or we're not. But really, is it really? I mean, what is it costing you? Sometimes they're so toxic, the places. It's costing your sanity, your health. Now you're spending more money just to keep alive. It's really hard. I get it. Because you can't find a new one. And the one that you have is hurting you. We got to figure out ways how to de-stress, cope, and become resilient So we don't have to feel that way. Staying in a marriage that hurts because at least you're not alone. Oh my gosh. You know how many people I've seen staying in relationships because they don't want to be alone? I believe at some point I must have felt that way. I don't feel it anymore. I mean, I guess to me, I can call me old-fashioned, but I believe that being in a marriage meant that you are now a family. You are going to live the rest of your life together. You're a team, and you're just going to make life a better place. And I believe there's probably people out there that are that way. Maybe someday I will let you know when I find one, and I'll be happy to introduce them to you. But for now, I don't truly believe that there's people out there that bring anything, the substance. I don't know how many of you have gone through so many dates or relationships and you're thinking, what in the world was I thinking, But you think, I don't want to be alone, but I hate to break it to you. You're still alone. Now you just have something else that you have to take care of, and it gets expensive, I don't know if you really want to keep doing that, friends, friends that don't even help us. They're just, the moment that you move around, they start talking about you. I don't think that's something that's considered friendship. Friends are there for you through thick and thin. I'm not saying they're going to be your parent or your therapist, but a friend, somebody who is willing to share also your life goals and whatnot with you. So I believe that is important. Now, for me, I believe that friends are harder to find as well because everybody is so worried about being alone. Everybody's trying to find their partner in life, but they forget about friendships as well. And then they become tired because now they don't have that ability to have that with them in their lives. So questions I want you to ask yourself. Where in your life are you settling out of guilt? Where in your life are you settling out of guilt? I was guilted for everything, mostly because of cultural based and religious based, where how dare you, if Jesus was humble, how dare you ask for more? That was one of my things that was the hardest thing is, they were saying, how dare you want a new house? How dare you want clothing? How dare you want a career or whatnot? Jesus didn't have it, so why are you wanting it? That was what I was confronted with, or even with relationships of how dare you're going to get a divorce. Now you're considered trash because that's what you're considered. You don't get offered any leadership roles within your church because guess what? You're broken. So how are you going to lead others into, the Holy Land and stuff like that? Now, mind you, the abuser doesn't get met with that. The abuser gets met, and then you've seen it, even recently. They get with people helping them, saying, oh, did the other person hurt you? And all you can do is stand there with your mouth wide open thinking, how in the world did the abuser get more assistance, help to have them grow? But, no, for you, you're ungrateful. And I believe that is totally, totally wrong. So the next part is the truth, gratitude, desire can exist. I want you to say, gratitude is not the opposite of desire. Gratitude is the fuel for desire. It's possible to be deeply grateful for what you have and still want more. I think that's important because that way you don't become stagnant. You don't become this swamp, I guess you would say, right? You wouldn't blame the body of water for wanting more water. It's trying to clean itself and it flourishes and has life. And then I'm not saying that all ponds don't have life, but they are toxic because some of them you can't even get in there because of all the parasites and stuff that are in there. It's the same thing with life. That you shouldn't feel bad for wanting more. So I want you to reframe this. You can love your life and want to expand it. I think that's called growth, right? I don't know, but to me, that's what it is. You can love your family and want new adventures. I think so. I think it's important. Why? Because that's how we create memories. You can love your home and dream of a bigger one. I think that one's the most important one, because I had people tell me, how dare you want a bigger home? What are you? Do you think you're better than us? Are you not grateful for what you have? The thing is when your home life with your family gets bigger, they need different things, and it's okay to want a bigger home if that is going to help you. And you know what? It's your life story. If you want a bigger home and you're just by yourself, more power to you. Why? Because that is your home, your safety. If you want multiple rooms, that's fine. If you want to clean it by yourself, that's fine. If you want to hire help, that's fine. I believe the thing is the person needs to be able to have that ability to choose it. Because I was told, oh, how dare you want a bigger home? How dare you want it in a nice neighborhood? And I'm like, well, that's what life is. You're supposed to become better and bigger. And sometimes better, it means smaller. Some people want to downsize. I am a true believer of that. Whatever you want to choose. So I have some mini exercises here. I want you to write down 3 things you're deeply grateful for right now, or when you get a chance. I'm not going to be that picky. Write 3 things that you're deeply grateful for. Do that every day. I think it's important. Then write 3 things you still desire. I love it. I could have like a book full of that. Notice how both can exist side by side. I think so. I truly believe it, because when you're becoming grateful is what makes you who you are, and the things that you want and desire are the things that will help you be a better multifaceted human being, because that's how we are, right? So I want you to go on to my next little section here I have. It's called How to Stop Feeling Guilty for Wanting More. I have some practical steps here. 1, name the guilt. Next time you feel it, pause and ask, where is this guilt coming from? Whose voice is this? 2, flip the script. Instead of, I should be grateful for what I have, try, I'm grateful, and I trust I'm worthy of more. Beautiful. I think that's great. Why? It makes you become a better human being. 3, set small expansion goals. Practice asking for more in safe ways. A raise, clearer boundaries, better treatment. I think that's important. I've been doing that, and I think I've gotten better at all of them except for the raise. The raise, they just kind of brush it off and just say, oh, we're not in charge of raises. HR isn't in charge of raises, so you'll have to talk to them. Mind you, why? They're the ones who are there for the company and not for you. It's pretty interesting. But if you can do it and you have gotten it, let me know. I think it's important. I think we should be able to celebrate for you if you've received a raise, people have honored your boundaries, or yourself. You've honored your own boundaries. Let's say that, because we can't always control what others do when they hear our boundaries. Or I want to know, how are they treating you better? Or how are you treating yourself? 4, celebrate your growth. Every time you expand, honor it. Don't downplay it. Let's celebrate. I really do believe that we don't celebrate enough for our growth, and I think it's time. So, empowering question. What would your life look like if you stopped apologizing for wanting more? I don't know what I would do. Frankly, I think I would be super ecstatic, because now I believe you've given yourself your own worth enough to say, I'm okay with wanting more. And anyway, our life changes. Sometimes the things we want, it's not something that we want now or later. I think it's important just to be able to honor your thinking. And that's really beautiful. Next one is, I have more exercises for you to unlearn the lie. Here's some daily journal prompts. I want you to get your guys' journals. In the future, I would like to offer my little journal prompts or even journals, so then that way you can be able to communicate with yourself steps for healing and growth, because I really believe you are worth it. These ones are just little mini ones that I believe that I would love to share. Just a little taste of what I can bring to you. And then that way you can start growing, because why not? None of us were given tips on how to grow up in school or wherever we're at. People are just always wanting our money for the bills, right? So here we go. Daily journal prompts. What do I want more of right now? What lie am I believing about wanting it? What's the truth I choose instead? Here's some affirmations. Wanting more doesn't make me ungrateful. It makes me human. I think that's beautiful. That is something I have been learning every day, and most recently is the things that I have and want to keep safe is not wrong. I'm tired of being gaslit to think that how dare I want for the most basic rights of being a human. We are humans. And we have a lot of things that we're grateful for and things that we still want. I'm allowed to grow. I want you to hear that. I'm allowed to grow. They're going to try, but you don't have to be stunted. And if you are at the moment because of how your feelings are, that's okay. You're going to get better. My desires are sacred. That's great. I believe that our desires need to be treated sacredly, because people just treat them like they're nothing. And, but watch them. When they want their desires, have you seen how angry or how demanding they get, and they won't back down until they get it? I'm not saying that you're going to be like them, but I want you just to understand that they've made it. So we have nothing to desire, but they will have everything that they want to desire. I mean, I got to the point where this person who really hurt me would put quotes on their phone, their cell phone, and they would say, look at this. These are the things that I'm doing for myself to honor myself, because you want to take it away from me. And I was just like, you're the one hurting me. How is it that... Why? Because they're doing damage control. They're letting everybody know that you were the abuser, and because they made you be quiet, I'm sorry to tell you this. They made you isolate and be quiet. Why? Because they were talking stuff about you. And so when actually something happens, you're going to be like, see? That's why they were quiet. Because this whole time, they were abusive toward me. And you're thinking, no. The story is the other way around. So I want you to start saying your desires are sacred. The next action step I want is take one tiny action this week that honors what you want more of. Even if it's just speaking it out loud. Beautiful. I believe that's something that I want you to do. Do it, and it will help you. So the next thing that I want you to do is reassure and inspire. If you've been punishing yourself for wanting more, please hear me. You're not ungrateful. You're growing. Encouragement for your life. Your desires are valid. Your hunger is holy. Stay thankful, but never shrink. Your desires are valid. Your hunger is holy. Stay thankful, but never shrink. That's something I want you to do, not to shrink. Invite connection. If this resonated, share this episode with a friend who needs permission to dream bigger. And a call to action for everyone. You know what? DM me what you're claiming more of this year. I love to cheer you on. I think, we're in a great, safe community, especially on my podcast, where I believe we should all be able to cheer ourselves on and each other, because I think it's time. You know what? Is it the time of us being quiet? No more. Now, I'm not going to disrespect you. If you want to be quiet, we'll honor you as well, but we'll still be cheering on for you. So I think it's important that we all do the best we can. We keep growing. And you know what? No, we're not going to be playing small anymore. We're not going to hurt people to get to where we want. No, because that's why we are healing and we're strong. And our life is something better. And I really believe it's important. So please keep moving forward. I think it's important that you keep going. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Your Life Story with Sajine. I hope it gave you something to think about, feel, or explore on your journey. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share it with someone who might need it or reach out to connect. And if you're looking for deeper insights behind the scenes, I will have content in the future for all of you. Thank you.